Good morning, vinyl community. I'm here to read out the last chapter of the Nick Schreck book. It's going to be very hard for me to read because I disagree with this completely. But we're going to try to read it out and try to understand it anyway. God bless Charles Manson, historical background to Zeena Schreck's 9-piece photo montage mixed media suite. I believe I showed that to you yesterday. Casual observers might assume that Zeena's ninefold art suite, God Bless Charles Manson, is simply a visual contemplation of a notorious 20th century icon. Connoisseurs of the twists and turns of the Aquarian Age, occult revival, will understand the deeply personal nature of Zeena's geographic reckoning with the man and phenomenon she's been linked to since her early as childhood, and within she's been befriended since 1989. As scores of popular studies of the 1960s dark side testify, fellow Scorpion Charles Manson and Zeena washed up upon the shore of popular consciousness together with the cosmic counterculture tsunami that hit San Francisco in 1967. Well, I have to tell you, I was there in 1967 too, and I was 18 years old, and Zeena was 4 years old. Okay, she wasn't even born in 69. Okay, so the fact that I was up there and she wasn't even born yet means I'm like 20 years ahead of her. In the same year that the international press announced 3-year-old Zeena's satanic baptism, a publicity stunt held at the Church of Satan, where 33-year-old Charles, the Wizard Manson, commenced his magical mystery tour in Haight-Ashbury, executed in the style of the era's underground newspapers montages. God Bless Manson is a psychedelic time warp, allowing physically attuned viewers to experience the unprecedented rapture in history, while Zeena's image speaks of themselves and historical amnesia fostered by the postmodern internet age of subjective wiki ignorance requires the suite's placement in its proper context. Although Manson, a neo-Christian apostle and egoless, never personally crossed paths with the atheist Church of Satan, neo-Christian apostle? Charlie was a Christian, man. Some of the Zeena's earliest childhood memories evolve around her family's 1967 encounter with key figures of a notorious family such as Susan Atkins and Bobby Beausoleil. They were up there in San Francisco too. Susan Atkins was the only one who wasn't a federal agent. You got it? Repeat it again. Susan Atkins was the only one who wasn't a federal agent. You dig? Bobby, all the girls were in love with Bobby. Everyone thought he was the next Gary Crosby. Among the many strippers, prostitutes, and queers that drifted in and out of the Church of Satan's kitchen, cum audition hall, was a flighty young brunette Zeena's parents hired to play the role of the vampire. So they're saying Zeena's parents hired Susan as the vampire. No, I think that Anton LaVey hired Susan as a vampire and kept her in a coffin for 3 days and tortured her. It's part of the MK Ultra program. The Topless Witches Review, a short-lived striptease show in San Francisco's North Beach Club. Other than the stripper's flaky, drug-fueled irresponsibility, the fly-by-night employee didn't make much of the impression of the national scale until December of 69. This is bullshit, man. Anton LaVey picked Susan. Why? Because she was the #1 go-go dancer on the whole friggin' strip. She picked her for no reason. She was the best, man. That's when Susan Denise Atkins emerged in the gross mass media hippie cult where she was heavily doctored confession. Yeah, this is BS, man. I can't even write this. Zeena's godfather and artistic mentor, Kenneth Anger, a frequent guest to her childhood home. Didn't he turn on Charlie? Didn't he turn on Bobby? Didn't he steal the friggin' master tapes of Lucifer Anger? But they're going on how Kenneth Anger is just such a great guy, man. I can't read this crap. Bobby sought to refuse in the home of Gary Hinman. Do you know that Gary Hinman was Bobby's best friend? Do you know that Gary Hinman was a Buddhist? Zeena, aren't you supposed to be a Buddhist? Isn't Nick a Buddhist? What's up with you guys? You just want to rag on Susan Atkins and Gary Hinman. You know what? Gary Hinman was a federal agent. Can you dig it, man? I can't do this anymore. This is too much lies about Roman Polanski and Rosemary's Baby. They're saying Anton LaVey wasn't in Rosemary's Baby. I have to end the stream now because this is all BS. Have a nice day.